Hi there. I tried a different camera angle today, so we'll see how we do. It's Sunday, waning moon, so I thought we would do another Mikael Star Talisman, because we started out with the Star Talismans with Mikael, and we didn't add too many things to it, so I thought we could do a full-on Star Talisman with him with the right measurements, and then I can show you a couple little tips and tricks that you can use that we haven't covered yet. Nothing too major, but so on a waning moon on Sunday, one of the things that Mikael is very helpful with on the waning moon is getting out of confining situations. So, I mean, at its most intense, that would be getting somebody out of prison. But we're talking also, for most people, that means the other kinds of prisons, like everyday prisons of our own making. So you might want to think about where you feel confined, and maybe we can get you out of that. All right, so we remember that on the Tree of Life, which I didn't bother to get, but you know, you can go find your tree. I hope everybody's made their own tree, or at least one, but make a bunch. But the sphere for the sun is as the number 6 sphere, and so we're just going to do a 6-inch talisman. Now we could also do a 3. We could do a harmonic if we didn't want such a big one. Which might not be a bad idea. In fact, let's do a 3-inch. Let's use the harmonic. Let's do a 3-inch talisman, and then we won't do the inner circle. Oh wait, do I want to do that? No, let's do a 6-inch talisman, and we won't do the inner harmonic. And let's see what we come up with. I'm going to show you some ways around it if you don't want to use that inner circle. You don't have to. What am I doing? Okay, so just dial in your measurement here. We'll make I'm gonna keep it still kind of light because you know, otherwise you get so much pencil when you color it in, like we did with the Uriel. Was so pencily. Can you see that we have a light circle? So that's a 6-inch circle. That's a hefty talisman right there. You can use the 6, or you can always do the harmonic. It's fine to do the harmonic. Now let's go ahead and I'm gonna open up the top. Let's go ahead and we'll trap some things in here. Oops, we don't need to do that yet. We'll have barely enough room to do some god names. Ha ha ha. So I'll do another 1/2 inch. That 1/2 inch is usually a good amount of space for when you want to draw some god names in. There's nothing sacred about the 1/2 inch, but I just think it's a nice, it's not too big, so it's not going to make your talisman like too mammoth, but it's big enough that you can write, and it houses those god names, those divine names. All right, and let's open up this top. I'm going to call this the top. Get rid of some of these dark marks. I'll just color that over later. All right, so let's just do the star. 360 divided by 6 is what? 60. 360 divided by 6 is 60. So we're gonna start off with the top. We're gonna make the top of the square right here, the square, the circle here. I know how to tell the difference between a square and a circle. Really, I do. Okay, and then we're just gonna go around 60. It's really basically 2 intersecting triangles, and I can show you there's a couple ways to look at the 6-pointed star. In addition to being the star of the sphere of the sun on the tree of life, it also represents 2 intersecting triplicities, 2 intersecting triangles. So an upward facing triangle is, oh, I'll show you. So these are easy. All we do is, we don't even need to bring these in. They're pretty much right where they need to be. So just going from the edge of this inner circle. So let's just do it as triangle. One triangle. Oh my. Well, you know, we do our best in the mornings. My aim isn't so great because I'm trying to show you. And so I usually work with my face right over something, and that doesn't work so well here. This was not the best triangle. That's okay, because I was off on my placement of the ruler. So before I open this up, see, that's a upward facing triangle, and that's the symbol for fire. Okay? And then the lower facing triangle is the symbol for water. So the order of creation, it's been stated in many traditions that first manifestation was fire, and in order for there to be physical manifestation of anything, immediately its opposite manifests. So then what you have, let me just finish this line so I can show you. That's better. Still not perfect. Me and my quest for perfection. Okay. So this triangle is fire, and then immediately this lower pointing triangle, water, is manifest, and then they interact, and then the if you just look at this triangle with the line through it, that's the symbol for air, because when fire and water react, they make steam. And then this lower facing triangle with the line in it is the symbol for earth, which is basically what's left over. So all life in that regard is a distillation. Interesting, huh? But that's not how we're using it here. We're using it as the symbol for the sun. So we're going to open up the top of the triangle here just a little bit. And then we're going to open up this here. So we have plenty of room to write stuff when we have a big star like this, and there's only 6 points. So we don't need that inner circle here. But I just want to show you something. You see how these are right angles? They're hard angles. They're fine. There's nothing wrong. You can put your intention in here and it will broadcast. But with these hard angles, the broadcasts seem to be a little bit harsh. So one way to handle that is to put a harmonic in the middle of a circle and put your intention in there, and then that's a nice smooth figure to broadcast your intentions. But if you don't want that, another thing you can do is just round out these, and I'll show you how to do that after when we're there. Okay, let me get my, hang on a second. Okay, so here we are. Tiferet is the sphere of the sun. So Yehovah Eloveda'at. That's a mouthful, isn't it? So that's what we're gonna put. That's what we're gonna put in here. So let's go ahead and put our cross quarterlies, because even though that's a mouthful, I'm gonna put it into each section. Okay. So you remember how we did that? You start out with your 4 cardinal points, which are pretty easy to find on a 6-pointed star. You can just go through the main points here into the middle, through that middle dot, even though I'm off. we can still kind of make it work. Because I don't do so well with my ruler in the morning, obviously. So we just want to put the cardinal directions in first, and then from there we and again we're just eyeballing it. We put our 40 and 50. Let's just erase that so it's not so confusing. So from each cardinal point, if you zero your protractor out, I'm gonna darken this because I can't see where my center is. There we go. If you zero out on the protractor where each cardinal point is, and then mark the 40 and 50. Whoops. Well, we're going to darken that for sure. These are really bad. I was not careful. It's okay. It's all good. All will be well. I promise. I promise this will be a very powerful talisman. What was I doing? Oh, yeah. Zero out each cardinal point on the protractor, and then mark the 40 and 50 from there. Make sure these other ticks are gone so you don't get confused. And then one more time, zeroing out at the cardinal point, and then putting in your 40 and 50. Okay, so that way we can know where our in fact, I think what I'll do is I'll bring these in. That way I don't have to color over pencil so much. So it'll be a little prettier. Erase, erase. Isn't this great that I can use my eraser on the pencil finally instead of always needing art gum? These pencils are divine, and you can get them online. I don't remember where I got them, but they're called Blackwing 602. Blackwing 602. They are nice pencils. You can use a regular old Ticonderoga, but their erasers usually aren't so good, so make sure you get some art gum. But these Blackwings, even the lead is nicer. I don't know how to describe it. It's just a lot easier to draw and write. If you like pencil, I love pencil, as you can tell. Now, I was really heavy-handed with this star. I think what I might do is actually erase it, and that'll leave a nice enough marking on there that I can follow with my pen or pencil, whichever I decide to use. And it'll be a little nicer to look at. So we're not always looking at pencil that's been colored over as much. So when we erase this, there will just be a little ghost line, which probably won't show up so well on the camera, but I'll be able to see it. When you do it, just don't use as heavy of a hand as I do. I'm usually heavy-handed, and then I got used to drawing really lightly, and then I noticed that it wasn't showing, well, you noticed that it wasn't showing up on the videos so well. So I started drawing it darker, and then the talismans weren't as pretty. All right, so I can see there's a little ghost star in there. All right, so here we go. All right, I was going to use pen, but since we're using that other technique, I think I'm going to stick with pencil to color all this in. Maybe I can even do a better job here. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay, so I've got, like I said, I've got that little ghost line, and I'm just going to color it in with this blue pencil, and then it won't be quite as messy looking with black pencil under blue. And then I can color that a little darker. I should have just started with the blue, but I wasn't thinking. I wasn't thinking. And that's just stinking thinking. Oops, what did I do? Oh, I got it. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, it would have been a lot easier if I just started with the blue and not bothered with that black pencil anywhere. We're still keeping this open at the top here, which means I need to open this a little bit too. That's all right. That's doable. Okay, so I've got a blue star with a little opening at the top on both of these. Let's really open that up. Open, open. Okay. And then I'm going to color this all in. This is a horrible angle for me. I hope it's a good one for you. We're just experimenting because I am a brand new YouTuber, never done it before. And to tell you the truth, I am not, well, I forgot a line. I'm not that interested in becoming a superstar. I'm just trying to get people that want to learn this stuff to have resources, that's all. So that was one of the reasons why, one of the several reasons why I went dark for so long. What happened was, I had taught the Witch's Primer for so long, that class, that beginning Wicca kind of class, but actually it's beginning witchcraft, it's not really Wicca, for many, many years. And my student who was was podcasting, he's no longer with us, unfortunately. He was named Hyperion. You might remember him from his wonderful podcast called The Unnamed Path. He's the one that recommended that I put a Witch's Primer online, along with all my old lectures. He's like, I don't know why you don't just have a podcast, because then it's there for posterity. And I thought, okay, that's a good idea. And never in a million years did I think it would be anything other than, you know, a couple people that would be interested in it, because there's so much stuff out there on the craft. So I'm like, you know, it's just going to be kind of obscure. But I was cool with that. Well, what happened was I got to #1 on not just alternative religion, but #1 on religious podcasts. Like, I was beating out all the Christian podcasts and stuff like that. And I was not prepared for that kind of attention and people just looking into my personal life. I had stalkers. I had people come into my work, looking me up. I had somebody move out here from another state so they could be close to me because they had the wherewithal to find out, you know, who I am in the mundane world and all that stuff. So that was it was just one of many reasons why I'm like, you know what, we need to give this a little break, because I'm not into that. I was just trying to help out. I was not trying to be a celebrity. I don't want to be a celebrity. I never have, never will. So, but then after there were a lot of other reasons, personal reasons why I needed to shut down for a while. And now everything seems to be copacetic again, so I'm back online. So I hope that this is something that you guys are finding of interest. Okay, this, I could have left this open when I drew it in, but I didn't. So I'm gonna try to open that up a little bit more. That's good enough though. All right, I don't think we need this guy anymore. So let's do our intentions first. Oh, actually, let's show you what to do with these things here. Okay, so let's figure out what we want here for measurement. So you just take, let's have an arc of about maybe 1/4 of an inch from each of these hard angle points, these points here. So 1/4 of an inch. Woo. So I just line the two angles up, see? I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Then I just mark a little 1/4 inch. It doesn't, you don't want it to be too dark. And then we've got one more pair here. I think that's all we need. Right where those lines intersect, I'm going to put this little dot at the 1/4 inch mark, okay? And all that is just my little guide, because what I'm going to do is make a little arc at each one of these lines. And I just do that to make it sort of consistent as far as the height of the arc. Right? And then I just color each one of these in. Gently, gently, gently. And then I'm just smoothing out those rough edges. That's all I'm doing, to give the energy a little smoother focus. And it's just another way if you don't feel like having that circle in the middle. The circle is nice, but then you lose the intersection of the geometric pattern. And when it's a smaller amount of rays, you can have a larger surface to write in the middle. When the rays start to get real, so many of them, like you saw with that 11-pointed star, there's no room to write, and that's when you can use that harmonic and open that middle up. But there's no need to do that here, right? So let's write our intent. I don't know if you can see what I just did. I just smoothed that out just a little bit. I just put those little arcs in there. Boy, I was very aggressive with my ticks. Okay, here's our top. So hopefully you're thinking of something that you need liberation from, some confining situation. So I'm going to put our name here, all viewers and we're going to have peace, liberty, and joy. Like that. See how we do it? All right. And so since those are in there, we can trap them by closing this off. And you can probably be a little more careful than I was, but this is just fine. Right? And if you want to, you can make these lines darker and thicker, which I think is nice to do. So it's just nice and bold. You don't want a wimpy liberator, do you? No. You want a bold liberator. So this bold liberator is going to liberate us from this confining situation, usually of our own making, but even though it can appear to be something that's happening to us. So what's your prison? What are you feeling imprisoned by? What are you putting up with that you feel is confining you? And that's what you're focusing on while we're doing this talisman. If you're doing this on your own, you put your own, you just think of, oh my gosh, now what's going to be like when I'm liberated from this? What is that going to look like? What is all this, if we chose these words, peace, liberty, and joy, going to look like? I mean, what is that? And then you can just feel the excitement of the manifestation of your desire coming forth, you know? Just feel what that feels like and see it in your mind's eye. What is that going to look like as you're doing all this stuff? Now, if you wanted to, you could put some rays in here. Put little 6 rays in here. Since we've got those structures in there, we may as well utilize them for some more symbolism. See there, oops, let's do another one. So we've got little solar rays coming out there. Okay, so let's write in our God names. That's a long one. Yeho, Yevoha, Elovedaat. Now we're doing it with English transliteration. We are not using Hebrew. You may use the Hebrew. If you know the Hebrew for this, just make sure you write it from right to left. But we're just going to write it in cursive. And it's a transliteration, so it's phonetic. Excuse me. What am I doing? Okay. Okay, there we go. Now, let's go ahead and put some astrological symbols in here. We haven't been doing that like we probably should. So on this triangle, I'm just choosing the symbol of the sun, and in this triangle, I'm putting the symbol of his zodiacal sign. All right. And this is so big, I don't think we can really trim it. We could. Why not? Let's just do it. Ba-dum bum bum ba-dum. Doodle doodle dee day. Okay. Almost finito, burrito. Oh, can you even see what I'm doing? Check the camera, Ariel. The camera's going. If you're doing stuff that's all fun and dandy all by yourself out of the shot, no one cares about watching. And your whole purpose for doing this has been abandoned. Because I know how to do this on my own. You guys want to know what I'm doing, because sometimes you don't know how to do these things. And they're not that hard, are they? Doesn't this seem like, you know, before you get into it, doesn't it seem like, wow, this magic stuff can be so hard? Then you do it and it's like, no, it's not. People want you to think it's hard because they want you to think that they're like privy to the secrets of the universe and that there's something special. People's egos are just amazing, and we can all get into that if we're not careful. Just be careful of that, because it doesn't do anything for you. All it does is make you kind of be a bit of a jerk. I know, because I've been there myself. I've succumbed to those kinds of temptations before, of thinking that I need to hoard knowledge or whatever. It's so stupid. Don't do that. All right. So here we go. There is that. And that's a nice way to kind of up the ante a little bit on your talismans. If you don't want to use that circle, just do something, put something in here to round off those edges in the middle. And you don't even have to do that. I mean, it'll work just fine if you put it in the middle. It's just sometimes, I don't know, we've just noticed over the years that when you leave those hard angles, and you put intentions in the center of it, that it's not as smooth. It doesn't manifest as smoothly as we'd like. So it's just, it's just that technique you can use. You don't have to. All right. Okay, let me get some candles. Or a candle. I do have some nice colored holders. I've got to bring those in because they're fun to use. All right, let's cleanse our space. Let's cleanse the space with Van Van. We're going to visualize a white light. And that white light is the life force of the universe itself. Perfect love, perfect trust. Here's Colonia 1800 by Crucelas. Stuff is so inexpensive, but it's not bad. It's a little bit like 4711, which is a little dry for my likings, but it's nice. And I don't have a spray bottle, so I'm gonna that way. You can put it in a little spray bottle though. I mean, it's nice. It's nice. It's better than 4711 and a lot less expensive. It's like, I think this gallon jug was like $20 or something. 33 fluid ounces. I'll never go through that. I don't know why I got such a big one, because I don't use it that often. Oh, I didn't put his orange blossom. Okay, so nor did I. Okay, good morning, Ariel. Let's do the four corners. Let's do the honors. Here we go. I'm just gonna keep the solar symbols on the corners. There's other stuff we can do. We'll get into that in another day. But this is already too long of a video. Alrighty, so thinking about whatever that confining situation is that we are going to request liberty from, and we are going to imbue our talisman with our intention, and we are asking for the presence of Michael as we light this candle. And we ask that Michael join us and that we become imbued with his sacred power, and that we be liberated from this situation. We know that it is not God's will for us to be confined. It is not God's will for us to be a prisoner in any way. And we are asking to be released from this captivity, whatever it is, and that we accept God's will of peace, liberty, and joy for us today. All right, we are going to work a psalm that will deepen this intention. So I hope you can join us over at the psalm video. If not, maybe just sit with Michael for a while. Remember, Michael's power word, his God name is on the Tree of Life, is Yehovah Elovedaat. I know it's a mouthful. You can download all of that from our Facebook group, and I hope that you will join us there. But if you want to just sit and meditate on the releasing of you from whatever this captivity is, you can use a silent mantra. Yehoah Elove Da'at as you do that, and it will help to further your intention and allow it to manifest in the best way possible. All right, well, it's very lovely to work with you. I adore you, and I can't wait to work with you again. Blessed be.